At just 27 years old, Jake Miles stood in a glass-walled conference room on the 42nd floor of a Fortune 500 company's headquarters. He wasn't just attending the meeting, he was leading it. Most of the room didn't know his story. They didn't know about the group homes, the stolen duffel bag, or the beat-up notebook that held his future. But Jake remembered every second of it. Because this moment didn't happen by accident. It happened because one day he made a choice to change. Jake never met his dad. His mom was in and out of rehab until she stopped coming back altogether. By the time he was 9, he'd been through 5 foster homes. By 14, he stopped unpacking his bag. Some homes were kind, some weren't. One of them kept him in the garage. Another one took his school lunch money. He got used to disappointment, used to pretending he didn't care. But he always cared. He kept a spiral notebook tucked into his backpack where he wrote everything he was afraid to say out loud. His dream to graduate high school, his fantasy of working in a skyscraper, the names of companies he saw on billboards. He didn't know anyone who'd gone to college. He didn't know anyone with a desk job. But in his head, he could see it, a future that didn't look like his past. He held on to that vision like it was a lifeline. When he was 17, he got placed in a transitional group home. It was supposed to prepare him for independent living. The truth? It was survival of the fittest. He watched 2 guys get in a fistfight over laundry soap. Another kid overdosed in the bathroom and nobody even told his caseworker. Jake had $23 to his name. No diploma, no guidance, and no belief left in himself. One night, after getting jumped for his shoes, he walked 3 miles to a 24-hour diner. He sat there for hours nursing a coffee, staring out the window thinking maybe he just wasn't meant to make it. Then he pulled out his beat-up notebook. On the back cover, he wrote in all caps, "I can become more." It wasn't a declaration, it was a question, a dare. That was the moment, the choice to change. The next day, he went to the public library. He Googled GED programs near me. He enrolled in the first one that would take him. He showed up to class early, stayed late, asked questions, took the workbook home, highlighted every page. He passed in 3 months. It was the first time anyone clapped for him. His instructor pulled him aside. "You're smart, Jake. You ever thought about college?" He laughed. But the idea stuck. He started volunteering at a food bank just to keep himself out of trouble. There, he met an older volunteer named Mrs. Ramirez. She asked him about his future. "I want out," he told her. "Out of this system, out of this life." She nodded. "Then you need to go somewhere the system can't follow you." She helped him fill out financial aid forms, FAFSA, and local scholarship applications. He applied to 5 community colleges, got into one. He took the bus 2 hours each way. Sometimes he fell asleep on the way home, missing his stop and walking back in the dark. He worked the night shift at a warehouse. Slept 4 hours, studied in break rooms. He didn't have a laptop, so he used campus computers and borrowed textbooks. He read books on success, watched videos on business, created his own resume template just to practice. His professors noticed. By his second year, he had a 3.8 GPA and a part-time job as a student advisor. He wrote personal statements for scholarships by candlelight during power outages at the group home. One mentor pulled him aside. "You have leadership in you. Transfer. Think bigger." Jake applied to state universities, got into 2, chose the one with the business incubator on campus. College was different. Students drove Teslas, talked about Europe, ordered $6 coffees. Jake didn't relate to most of them, but he listened, took notes, paid attention. He volunteered to help a local startup through an internship program. They liked him, gave him real responsibilities. He learned branding, finance, operations, and how much he didn't know. That internship turned into a part-time job, then a letter of recommendation, then a full-ride scholarship his senior year. He built his own budgeting spreadsheet. He lived in a shared apartment with 3 other guys. He cooked his own meals, packed leftovers, and never missed class. He used YouTube to teach himself Excel formulas, financial modeling, and public speaking skills. In his last semester, a visiting exec from a Fortune 500 company came to speak. After the talk, Jake waited in line. He shook the man's hand, looked him in the eye, asked 2 thoughtful questions. The exec remembered. 2 weeks later, Jake got an interview invite. He showed up in a thrifted suit and well-practiced smile. He nailed it. He was hired as an operations analyst. At 24, he made more in a year than anyone in his childhood ever had. Jake didn't forget where he came from. He still kept that beat-up notebook. He started mentoring kids from group homes, donated laptops, helped build a scholarship fund for aged-out foster youth. He created an online course for foster youth on how to build a resume, apply to college, and apply for grants. He told them the truth. You're not broken. You're not behind. You just haven't had someone believe in you yet. But it starts with you. Make the choice. His story was featured in a local newspaper, then a podcast, then a small TED-style talk at his alma mater. He got emails from all over the country, former foster kids, social workers, teachers. One kid wrote, "I was about to give up until I saw your video. Now I'm applying to community college." Now 27, Jake led a strategy session with execs twice his age. He wore a tailored suit, knew his numbers, ran the room. No one there knew he used to sleep with one eye open. But he knew, and that was enough. After the meeting, he went back to his office and opened his notebook. He flipped to the back cover. There it was, still written in faded ink, "I can become more." He smiled, then added something underneath it. "I did." Not every success story starts with support. Some start in silence, in pain, in a cheap notebook full of hope. Jake Miles didn't beat the odds. He rebuilt them, one choice at a time. Because where you start isn't your fault, but where you go, that part's up to you.